Hello everybody, my name is Deana and I'm here to show you how to sand, paint, and stain the body of a bass guitar. I'm doing this for a friend of mine who has less tools than I do. As you can see, I don't have too many tools, so I use what I got. It's not that difficult to do this, it's just very time consuming and can be a little tedious, period. But once it's finished, I bet it's gonna look fantastic. So stick around and I will do this point by point for you. Right now, at the moment, I've got this P120 sanding disc. And that's what I'm using currently at the moment. We'll be going to a much less grade for my next step. It's gonna get loud, folks, so I apologize. Where my angle grinder caught the edge of a nail, bounced over my knuckles and my hand on my right hand, turning them all into hamburg along the way. So, no matter how big your hands are, hold on with two hands. That was almost my last time ever playing piano. Now the reason why I'm putting the board over like that is so that it doesn't accidentally catch on the disc too. What you want to try to do is stay away from the edges, the cutout edges. If you can, as much as you can. Because you don't want to bevel them. You still want your pickups to sit in the same spot. You're also risking the blade jumping, or you're risking taking off way too much, and you really don't want to do that. You don't want to lose the quality of sound. So that's sanding. I will come back when it comes to the staining. Cheerio. I just wanted to show you what stage of the game I'm at here. So this is the back side of it. As you can see, it is taking me many hours to do this because I want to get right down to the grain. And I'm doing my best to keep it flat and level. So you can see I'm not actually beveling anything. I'm not taking anything really away. I'm just removing the nasty. Let's put it that way. Just realized I have my headlamp on. So it's taken me roughly, well, I started at 135 and it's now 405. And well, I've had to do a few things in between, you know, life and such. Tends to get in the way once in a while. But I'll show you what the other side of this looks like. Because it's right down to the bare bones. So that's what it looks like when everything is removed. And all I have to do now is a fine polish on the front. And that's what this is going to look like eventually. And then I'm going to paint and stain it. And I'm using my personal special blend of paint. It's not a common knowledge thing, so I'm not going to give away that secret. But I will tell you that it is a mixed medium base. It is, the first medium is an absorbent type of paint, so it will soak into the grain, but not completely cover it. So you'll still see all the beautiful grain underneath it. Then I'm going to coat it with a satin finish, so it's going to be completely sealed in and should be good to go after a few hours. So getting back at her. I will stop again when she's clean and we start our first coat of my base paint. Alright, cheerio folks. Here I go again on my own. And no matter your gender, this kind of stuff is fun. Especially if you're a woman. Because there's still a lot of men out there that don't think we're capable of doing awesome stuff like this for some reason. And man, I wish I had thought to make videos of all of the instruments and stuff that I've refurbished, fixed, redone. Yeah. What I can do though is I will make a compilation, basically a picture story of the stuff that I have done, because I did take kind of pictures along the way. So every step of the way there was usually a picture. So I will look for that in the future. Now we're getting down to the final stages of this project. And basically what that means is I now have to do fine sanding to get any digs, any accidental gouges from my various tools. Had to use a Dremel to get the fine edging without actually beveling the edging. And I didn't even bother to go inside because that usually screws things up really if you do that. And I didn't do the interior cutout because the way they make these is that cutout is placed directly in one spot and one spot only, and it fits 100%. So there's no wiggle room there usually. So you don't want to take the edging off at all in that circumstance. So I left it alone. And as you can see, I left the holes alone as well. So basically what I'm doing is I got a P150. This is 3M paper, which is really kind of cool because 3M paper is easy to bend, easy to mold to whatever angle you want to put it at. And honestly, it's the best invention since sliced bread in my opinion. So we're going to continue to finish this. As you can tell, it's beautifully naked. This is one naked base. And it's about to get very pretty. So stay tuned folks, not done yet. Alright kids, we're back. I just wanted to show you what I did here since I'm not going to be touching these holes, and I'm not going to be touching the neck adjoinment in any way, shape, or form. I decided to hook these in so that I can hang freely and nothing will touch the finish. And I've obviously got it all completed from the back to the front, so it's done. Now I just have to go upstairs and grab my paint. I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got my stain wash that I personally made. Like I said, secret recipe, don't even bother asking, won't tell. Gotta keep some trade secrets to yourself, otherwise nobody will hire you, right? So, you can tell there's no blemishes, it's completely smooth now. All you want to do is give it a quick wash. You don't want to kill the grain of the wood, and you definitely want to start from the very top to the bottom so that the drips are taken care of. So I'm going to start from the back, just because it's safest and I want to know how deep and dark this actually is. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to check it on the floor. It's pretty cool, actually. So I like to get as much of the moisture off as possible, because you're not trying to soak it and you're not trying to drown it. You just want to give it basically a grain wash. It's like a whitewash for old outhouses where they just gave it a pretty surface. And I'm going to try it from, it's hard, yeah. I'm going to try it from the side. Oh man, it's so cool. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it definitely looks really cool. And I must say I'm pleased. So we're just going to continue with it, because this is a pretty awesome color actually. And just soft, even strokes, and like I said, you don't want your brush to be soaked. You just want it to have enough moisture on it that it carries the wash over. And this is my first time ever doing this, but I have done a lot of instrument repair over the last couple of years. And I've become a little confident in my abilities now, and once you do a couple of them, like especially try something that you know if something disastrous happens, it's not a big deal. Like it'll totally be fine, you know. Basically a junk guitar. Take a junk guitar and turn it into something fantastic. That's what I did for my first one, and then I moved on to a mandolin, which had an owner that didn't understand string tension and tightened the strings really tight and left them on, which completely sunk the F-holes into the body. So it didn't sound good, it played horribly, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to save it. But I steamed it over a pot of hot water and waited for a good, well, I steamed it for a long time actually, so until I watched the F-holes actually descend themselves. Like I actually didn't have to move them myself, they kind of moved on their own. So that was fantastic when that happened. And apparently they have kept their structure because I had placed them in spot, and then I did like a surface wood glue to kind of hold it in place. Not a deep one, so it was kind of like a wash like this, really. Just to kind of give it a slight bit better structure. And yeah, now the person that owns it is playing it and loving it, so I guess it couldn't have been too bad. I have never seen a green Ibanez bass. This is going to be freaking cool. Let's call it Oscar. And I'm a big believer in signing your work. So when I'm finished, I am going to sign the inside of where all the electronics go. And I just kind of put a little note with my name, where I live, and what I did to it. Well, basically I'm just going to say this is a custom job, paint job, sanding and paint job done by Deana Donovan of New Brunswick, Canada. It's hard to see at the top here, but I know with a sponge like this, it absorbs really well. So if you press right into the corners of whatever's up there, like I have a little bolt in there because the original strap holder kind of disintegrated and the hole was too big to put it back in. So it had already been changed and I just upgraded it to a better bolt. Whatever you do, do not let any drips sit. Streak it off immediately. Like, blend it into the rest of the body. It doesn't matter what you do with it, just get it off. Because once it sits, it's impossible to get off. Man, that grain is coming through beautifully. I hope this translates well so that you can actually see it while I'm doing it and for the final product. And I know for a fact that the owner is going to lose his squirrely little mind when he sees this. Because like I said, I don't know of anybody that has a green Ibanez or screen base guitar. And I'm getting so much of this all over my face. Fantastic, I can feel it like dripping on me. It's kind of funny. It's beautiful. And this will not be the last one I do on my face. It's so pretty. Actually, now that I'm seeing this, I'm actually I've got a brand new bass guitar, and I wouldn't even considered it until I saw the finish on this. Like, wow. Now I'm jealous. Oh, my own work. Go figure. Beautiful. Incredible. Put one more layer of this green on. And then what I think I'll do is experiment a little by adding a little more blue to the green, washing it out a bit more, and kind of sunbursting this. Like trying to find a way to sunburst this, I think. I think that's the ticket. That's going to make it like super special. So pretty. I'm super jealous. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna finish on that. You can see the grain through it. Beautiful. This is before I put the polyurethane top on her, which I intend to do because it seals in the color, number one, and number two, protects the wood itself from, you know, wear and tear damage. That's what thing. Alright, well, I'm going to give that a couple seconds to dry, and then I'm going to put the second coat of green on it, and then when I come back to you guys, I will show you what that looks like, and then I'm going to do the blue wash first. So we'll see what the finished image looks like. Cheerio. Here, I don't know if you can see because of the light there. I got the green, an amazing color. Not only that, but also amazing coverage. So every nook and cranny is coated in this green. And I just want to show you real quick what I did before I change it again. So I'm going to add some more blue and see if we can't darken the edges to make it have almost like a sunburst effect, you guys. See you back in a few. So the stain has set on the guitar. Now I just have to seal it in. So we're using some one coat polyurethane. It completes projects 3 times faster, protects in one coat, and it's clear semi-gloss. Yeah. So what we're doing. And here we go. This always makes me nervous. I don't know why, but applying the finishing coat always makes me so freaking nervous. This is when you know if you screwed up or not. So the final color is applied, and you can see all the colors in the green. You see whether or not you got every nick and nook and cranny. Stuff does not spread very easily, so we're going to put a little bit more on each brush stroke, so that we can be certain that it's settling in the greens of the wood. The last thing you want to do is finish everything and find out that you've got spots everywhere. That just looks so unprofessional. It looks so bad. Like, yeah, sure, you won't see it far away, but you'll know you did it, and you will be able to see it up close. So it's best to do the job right once. And you definitely don't want to get anything in those holes. So work your way around that, and don't matter if a little bit of polyurethane settles on top, because it will settle into the grain eventually. It spreads itself, kind of like resin a little bit, especially when you have your instrument hanging up like this. It's way easier to control drips. It's way easier to see what's being covered and what is not, like that little area there. And it's always a good idea to kind of stipple as well as you go along, because you just got done sanding it, and especially things like rosewood, they tend to not splinter, but become a little separate between the greens. So you want things to settle in and look uniform. The only way to do that is to go with the green, and that way everything kind of gets brushed into it. And if you find that it's not all the way getting in there, just stipple. Stipple it like I did. And if you're careful enough and you pay enough attention to what you're doing, it should look unbelievably fantastic when you're done. I'm probably going to give this 2 coats of polyurethane, to be honest, because with playing on stage and stuff like that, you get sweaty and you're constantly rubbing the area, like several areas of your guitar are constantly getting rubbed down, so it's always good to apply more instead of less, just to make sure we get everything. Just make sure there's nothing in those holes, because those are pretty tight fitting, as they are. So always pay attention to the drips. will get them. Doesn't matter how careful you are or how much you try not to get them, they're gonna happen. So as long as you catch them right away, it's really not an issue. If by chance that you don't, there is a chance you're gonna actually have to sand this whole thing down again and start over, because if you're like me, I mean, because I am a super perfectionist and my name is everything to me, including my work ethic and my final products. Real good bow around the edge there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wet cloth and I'm going to go into the corners and make sure that nothing got stuck in those edges, because like I said, everything's a very tight fit on these guitars. They're made specifically the way they are so that everything settles in perfectly and matches up beautifully. So you really can't mess with that. This stuff doesn't dry too quickly, so, well, it doesn't dry slow, but if you get it within, let's say 15 minutes, you're probably good. I always try to get sooner, but it's not always possible. Try to go at very, very soft, deliberate brush strokes in the same direction as the grain of the wood, so that you can't see the brush strokes when it's finished. It's already starting to look shiny and sexy. Oh, I'm so jealous of this. I have to do this to my own bass now. Or at least one of my other instruments. Or maybe I just need to buy a junk instrument and do it, because this is so much fun. I'm actually kind of enjoying myself a lot. It's nice to know that you have enough of a brain that you can figure stuff out on your own. And it really isn't that difficult. Like, this is the very, very first time I'm ever doing anything like this. And I didn't want to watch videos about how to do this sort of thing, because I kind of wanted to develop my own skills based on knowledge of how these different mediums I'm using work on other things that I've tried or other things that I've done. And I think I made the right decision, to be honest. I'm really impressed with myself, actually. Toot. My own flipping horn. It's nice to feel proud every once in a while, especially in your work. Especially when you see the appreciation of the people that own the product that you are coming out with. It's incredible. Almost as good a feeling as actually playing on stage in front of an audience that really appreciates your original written music. That's also very nice. And as you noticed, I went crosswords there, and that's because there's a lot of open, like I said, there's almost like veins in the wood where it doesn't, like nothing quite settles in it, and it doesn't matter what you do, it just kind of won't settle. So you gotta stipple, and you gotta push that into the friggin' grain of the wood, just like that. Otherwise, like I said, it's gonna look like a substandard job, and you're gonna regret not having taken the time in the first place. Drips. I was telling you about. Pull them down, because that way you know that if there's excess, it will continue down the grain of the wood rather than dripping off the top. That's why I always start from the top. All right, now let's get those holes cleaned out real fast. Sometimes all you gotta do is touch the corners to get those out, because you really don't want to hurt the finish you just put on there, that's for sure. Because that takes a lot of work. And you know that. You just washed it. So I'm gonna have to rework that. No problem. That's super simple. And this is why I do this now. Should have probably hung from the back actually. I didn't even thought of that. That's probably the best way to go. Oh yeah, right here. And around again. Hold on, stay still. Now, what I'm going to do is a little bit of a issue with where I had those holes when I drifted it. So what I'm going to do is just kind of stipple around the hole so it doesn't move on again. And drag that up. And back in. That didn't work out. See, and this is why we experiment ahead of time. There, that's better. Yeah, paintbrush it is, yes. See, paintbrush. Oh, now we know. Whole contour looks uniform. Looks like I might actually have to do another layer of polyurethane, which is fine. I'm not doing that. This stuff doesn't stink. It's kind of nice. And I'm going to let it settle. I'll be right back. Alright people, I'm going to show you the final product. Look at the grain on that stain. Isn't that beautiful? Holy, I love it. I am so freaking jealous. So this is the end. This is what it looks like at the very end of her. When all the application is done and we're just waiting for the polyurethane to dry. So pretty. Like the color is unbelievable, and the way it shines through, it actually looks like kind of iridescent almost. It's really neat. Yep. So yeah, that is all for today. This is Deana. I'll have some future stuff out really quick, I'm sure. So I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.